In today's
the energy
video.
out of you. And then luckily the bell went and I was finished with my round, but then he said this. I tried to play it off, but I felt like I just died inside when he said that, especially as someone who doesn't do this often. Doing 2 rounds back to back on the pads is actual death. Not only was I already dead, but this round he started punishing me for my mistakes. I'm not gonna lie, I started seeing stuff.
He puts his hand down, right? We're just gonna keep it that way.
Let me have the honour of doing some pad work with him. So he was giving me some pointers here and he was helping me drive my knees up more, which helped out a lot. So I was doom scrolling reels when I came across this video. Upon further research, I learned that this coach was actually European and world heavyweight champion Neusxanity. This might actually be the scariest Muay Thai coach of all time, so obviously I had to train with him. I packed my bags and got the train to Ilford, which is where he's based. Here's me getting a quick pump on the train. This is where I met my friend Daniel Cuttle, who was joining me on my journey to get slapped around. Obviously we had to get some shadow boxing done in Greg's to warm up. And then we arrived at Black Diamond Gym, and I'm not gonna lie, we were both bricking it. And just to set the tone for the session, as soon as we walked in, we had to do 50 burpees because someone indulged in a cheeky illegal drink break. So there goes all of my arm and leg strength before the session has even started. Then we got into some pad work. Here's me working with Daniel. And now what you've all been waiting for, Daniel the Warrior Sam himself let me have the honour of doing some pad work with him. So he was giving me some pointers here and he was helping me drive my knees up more, which helped out a lot. When I kicked the pads, he actually said he needed to switch to the big pads. I don't think he was expecting much from a karate guy. I think he liked my kicks, which was good, but then he said this. So we get into the round and he starts testing me with the pad slaps a bit more. Then I start getting tired and my hands start dropping and he starts punishing me for it, as he should. By the way, unless you've done this yourself, you don't understand how tiring this is. It just completely saps the energy out of you. And then luckily the bell went and I was finished with my round. But then he said this. I tried to play it off, but I felt like I just died inside when he said that. Especially as someone who doesn't do this often, doing 2 rounds back to back on the pads is actual death. Not only was I already dead, but this round he started punishing me for my mistakes. I'm not gonna lie, I started seeing stars on a few of these, and my ears are still ringing as I'm filming this voiceover. I felt like I was going to pass out anyway, and then he hits me with a knee right to the liver. It doesn't look that hard, but it felt like my diaphragm had just collapsed. And then he told me to suck it up, so I had no choice. Brutal, but it definitely gets you training hard for sure. And then we got into some sparring. So first off, me and Daniel had a light spar. Being from a karate background, I naturally move around a lot, which wasn't too good for this because the space was limited, so I had to make some adjustments. Then I sparred with a couple of the other guys in the gym, which was fun. I did try a few times to revert back to pure karate style, and it seemed to catch them off sometimes, but with that being said, I also struggled to deal with the tank style of Muay Thai where they just walk you down and strike. So I actually ended up almost running around the mat trying to get some space to set up my kicks, which wasn't great. Also, after this sweep, I went for a light head punch because that's what we do in karate, but I forgot that might have looked a bit disrespectful in Muay Thai, so I apologise for that if it did. This next guy I sparred was coming for my head, and I understand because obviously I'm coming into their gym, so they've got to show me the ropes, and that's exactly what this guy did. I think he realised that being from a karate background, my punching is not my strong point, so he did a great job of closing me out and catching me with those inside shots. We had a good little spar and he was setting up his head kicks lovely. He caught me a few times with those. Then he caught me with a stiff teep in the exact spot that I'd been kneed earlier, so that one took all the air out of me again. And then he did some sort of Muay Thai dominance ritual on me, which was kind of embarrassing. I understand now that trying to walk it off mid-spar is not really ideal, but I was genuinely struggling to breathe here. And then he booted me in the exact same spot again with another teep, so I was kind of cooked at that point. But fair play to him, he showed me what Muay Thai is about, and I definitely got the message. And then with the last bit of energy in me, I had one last spar with one of the other guys. Threw a little back kick in there at the end as well. That wrapped up the session. I was absolutely exhausted, but I did want to ask Daniel a few important questions afterwards.
Very much.
Cool. Welcome. Good
Um,
session, you guys.
So, being a European and world heavyweight Muay Thai champion, how did you think someone of a karate background, having only trained karate, did today in your Muay Thai?
No, you done really good. You know, you put the work in, the drills and the technique. Obviously, I can see, you know, you've got some fundamentals from the karate, but you done really well. Fitness is good. The kicks are extraordinary. You know, you've got a kicking background, and you can see that. You know, working on some of your guard and punches. You know, and you're there. As you know, like with K1's a mix of karate versus Thai boxing versus, you know, all the different martial arts striking come together to see the battle, you know, to see who's the best. So, you know, you can cross over that quite easily. You've got the fundamentals on lock.
Okay, thank you. And also, one thing I wanted to ask was, on the internet, everyone likes to compare styles, like martial arts styles. And a lot of the time, people will put Muay Thai on top. So I was wondering what your view of Muay Thai in amongst the other combat arts. I was wondering what you
Yeah, you know, I try not to get into this kind of back and forth, which is the best martial art. You know, every one of them's got their own benefits in the ring, on the street, and individually. See, I'm not going to say, you know, Muay Thai is better or MMA is better, because it just depends on the individual, depends on the circumstances. You know, only 5 to 10% of participants actually get in the ring and fight, or get in the cage and fight. So, you know, you're not actually going to be putting your martial art up against someone unless you're in the ring or cage. So it more depends, okay, how's it going to work on the street? How's it going to work for your own fitness, you know, for your own mental health and stuff like that? Every martial art can do that, you know, so I wouldn't say any of them the best, you know, they're all individual. Muay Thai's the best, but yeah, I would, you know, so you just go with
that's exactly what I say. It all depends on the martial art.
Yeah.
Obviously, except with it's karate, because like we know that's the best one. But
no comment.
Also, one last thing, I was wondering what your opinion is on point style martial arts like karate or taekwondo. Obviously, I think they get a lot of hate online. I was wondering what your opinion on it is, whether they, you know.
I can't say I'm a big fan of them. I know that they would have benefits. You know, as I said, every martial art does have benefits for the participants, but it's not my favorite style of watching fights. You know, I can see lots of technical flaws in there, but if you can cross it over, mixing it, you know, for example, like Michael Page, he's been able to cross over and use that fundamental, that background, that base he's got in point scoring and adapt it. So if you're able to do so, then it's brilliant. You can see that with MVP, he's amazing.
Phenomenal, isn't it? He's phenomenal. So people like Wonder Boy as well.
Yeah, oh yeah. So, you know, yeah, it does have a good base in it, but it by itself, you know, that point scoring system, the one punch and the back leg flailing up and jump.
No, I agree.
I can't say I'm a big fan of it.
Either. Well, Daniel, Sam, thank you very much. World and European Muay Thai champion, nothing but respect.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having you guys down there. Welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Wicked.
All right, so we just finished. We're outside Liberty Flowers shop. Shout out Liberty Flowers. Polar opposite of what we've just been doing. My leg is aching. It's in pain. We've just been through a brutal Muay Thai session. How do you think that went?
You got the brunt end of it. Honestly,
We got messed up.
I reckon he was saving me for the next session, but we quit whilst we were ahead because the first session was so good, we didn't do the next one.
He was offering us to do a second session, and we were like, you know what? We're going to take the beginner session and run. Even the beginners, even if they were beginners, that was hard. They trained so hard. So
Mate,
you can't not Muay Thai. Brutal martial art.
thanks for having me. Well,
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for inviting me down.
yeah.
It's been a good video.
Big shout out to Black Diamond Gym for allowing us to train with them. If you're ever in Ilford, be sure to check them out for some great Muay Thai training. They offer classes for all ages and abilities, so there's nothing stopping you. Also, thank you to Daniel for being a part of this video, and go subscribe to him if you haven't. He makes very good content, and he's actually the one that inspired.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys something about that dude. See, he's very intimidating the way how he fights. I even got to see a small little clip of him playing around, and you know, I could tell you get hit by him and you know you're going to feel a lot of pain. Respectfully, Muay Thai is not something you play around with. It's a dominance. As you notice, it's about dominating and pushing through your opponent. As someone who trains in this martial art, it's not no joke. Like, they tell you to kick as hard as you can. And I mean, push all the energy into your foot, your leg, your calf, everything, all that energy. And they mean like kick it. But I could tell just by how Nat wouldn't handle this dude. I wouldn't be able to handle him either. Because even if I was doing it, I would do a back leg kick or backhand, whatever the fuck kick, and it wouldn't work on this guy. He would still keep advancing. Because I would just keep losing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my ground. This is really fucking happening. And, you know, when you look at martial arts and when you start becoming a martial artist, you start being intimidated by good fighters. You know and you sense the energy. You sense the aura. I hate saying aura because it sounds very fucking corny, but it's the truth. You sense something you really don't want to fuck with. That man in particularly, every time you put your hand down, let's look at this. Let's look back. Watch how every time he puts his hand down, right? We're just going to keep it that way.
Himself let me have the honor of doing some pad work with him. So he was giving me some pointers here and he was helping me drive my knees up more, which helped out a lot. When I kicked the pads, he actually said he needed to switch to the big pads. I don't think he was expecting much from a karate guy. I think he liked my kicks, which was good, but then he said this. So we get into the round and he starts testing me with the pad slaps a bit more. Then I start getting tired and my hands start dropping and he starts punishing me for it, as he should.
See? Notice how he keeps punishing him for it. Every single time he keeps his hands down. They remind me of that every freaking time. They tell me to never keep my hands down. Every time I keep my hands down and I'm like this, for a moment, like Nat was, when he was like keeping his hands down and getting tired, they literally swack you on the head, reminding you to keep your hands up. And I keep my hands up the entire time. But, you know, over the years, I've learned a strategy where, you know, even though if I'm tired and on like burnout, gassing out, like I still keep my hands up, but it's very difficult to. So the only way how I do it is I start moving around, bursting out energy, small bits of energy, then burst out again and then do it again. And see, that helps me so I don't gas out too easy. I can conserve power while doing it. But see, I wouldn't be able to handle this dude. This guy would literally just bop me on the head every few seconds. I let my hands down for even 2 seconds. Luckily, I know the whole jab, cross, hook that I've always been taught for over the years, so it makes it really simple. But martial arts, when it's a coach, they tell you, keep your hands up. You do it again, you drop your hands. Just see what happens. That's happened before. Where, you know, I've dropped my hands and I've like thought that I'm in the clear. Next moment, bam, 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 bam. Hit me over the head and everything. You don't want to be that one guy. You kind of want to be a little bit smarter about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep your hands up at all times. Let's play a little bit more just to show you. Yep. Yep, did it again.
You've done this yourself. You don't understand how tiring this is. It just completely saps the energy.
I perfectly understand.
The bell went and I was finished with my round. But then he said this.
Oh.
I tried to play it off, but I felt like I just died inside when he said that, especially as someone who doesn't do this often. Doing 2 rounds back to back on the pads is actual death. Not only was I already dead, but this round he started punishing me for my mistakes. I'm not gonna lie, I started seeing stars on a few of these, and my ears are still ringing as I'm filming this voiceover.
Ooh, man. Yeah. Yep. This is what we. Yep. Damn. 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 Damn.
Like I was gonna pass out anyway, and then he hits me with a knee right to the liver. It doesn't look that hard, but
Oh my fuck.
and then he told me to suck it up, so I had no choice. Brutal, but it definitely
Hell
is
no,
very
bro.
hard.
Nope. Oh my goodness.
And then we got into some sparring. So first off, me and Daniel had a light spar. Being from a karate background, I naturally
Bro. Nah. Hell nah. Oh no. Nope. Nope. That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's exactly the thing I'm talking about. And then you watch this other dude, not his friend. They're just doing, you know, sparring in their own little way, but not him. Let's go towards the guy that was nothing more than a beginner. Just keep in mind that guy was a beginner.
being said, I also struggled to deal with the tank style of Muay Thai where they just walk you down and strike. So I actually ended up almost running around the mat trying to get some space to set up my kicks, which wasn't great. Also, after this sweep, I went for a light head punch because that's what we do in karate, but I forgot that might have looked a bit disrespectful in Muay Thai, so I apologise for that if it did. This next guy I sparred was coming for my head, and I understand because obviously I'm coming into their gym, so they've got to show me the ropes, and that's exactly what this guy did. I think he realised that being from a karate background, my punching is not my strong point, so he did a great job of closing me out and catching me with those inside shots. We had a good little spar and he was setting up his head
Like,
kicks. He
damn.
caught me a few times with those.
Look at him. Yeah, I see he can't even do the karate shit if he wanted to. See, that one thing about my style of martial arts, I combine it with my like street fighting style and like my martial arts style. So both of them are combined into one. So, you know, one in particular, hood nigga defined what type of hood nigga fight styles there are. You know, I'm the type that rushes down people. My hands are out, so I'm more aggressive. So I thought about making it more adaptable to my style. So say, for example, basically, since I'm a rush down type, I basically have Muay Thai, karate, and then a little bit of sprinkle of boxing. Oh, who am I kidding? It's kickboxing. I'm sorry. Kickboxing. And I learned from that, and then I can rush down a lot of people. But my style reminds me I had to not be afraid to throw a punch, or the first one too, and be on the attack. So I have to actually close in the distance. Remember, there are a lot of small people in this world, and a lot of big people in this world. So you also had to be aggressive. I've seen smaller guys who spar me who've actually given me a way more harder time. And they're actually good. Like, they got good kicks, they got good hits, like elbows, knees, all sorts of shit. And like, it's a humbling experience to me. So it's very humbling for me to remind myself that there's someone who's always tougher than me and always can kick my ass no matter what I do. And I like reminding myself of that because then it makes me think a lot more clearly and I get clarity from it. So that humbling experience reminds me, hey, Neusxanity, you're not going to win against these guys. You might want to try and be a lot more aggressive. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to do it. Now I'm really going to do it. That's when I start getting in, start throwing really clean jabs, really clean crosses, hooks, kicks, teeps, knees, side kicks, all sorts of shit. And I start getting real aggressive with them. It's actually caught off multiple people before. However, the price of it is that I gas myself out quickly. You see, I learned how to negate that by more likely kind of pit stopping and getting a breath of air and then doing it again, then doing it again, making you think I'm going to hit you, but then over and over and over again. And you're going to believe I'm going to hit you, and then repeats and repeats and repeats. I mean, me telling you this makes no difference. You won't even know, so. That's what's so funny. You won't even know. But like literally, this is something you don't want to. This is someone who is definitely good at what he does. I'll tell you that much.
Then he caught me with a stiff teep in the exact spot that I'd been near earlier, so that one took a out of me again. And then he did some sort of Muay Thai dominance ritual on me, which was kind of embarrassing. I understand now that trying to spar is not really ideal, but I was genuinely.
Yeah, we got a hard sparrer here. You know what? He better be the one that spars this dude the most. His coach the most, since he wants to be a hard ass. I knew it. If you're really that good, you better be sparring the coach constantly. Because we know he gets humbled every single time when he shows off. Trust me, coaches don't like when you try to play like you're way better than everyone else. They will humble you. Like, they'll be like, the fuck do you think you are trying to get to my level? This is my mountain. I don't know what you doing. Just kick you off the mountain and put you back where you are. Don't think that you're better than everyone else. Realize that you are just as low as anyone else. You just have better experience. Realize your place.
Struggling to breathe here. And then he booted me in the exact same spot again with another team, so I was kind of cooked at that point. But fair play to him, he showed me what Muay Thai is about, and I definitely got the message. And then with the last bit of energy in me, I had one last spar with one of the other guys. Threw a little back kick in there at the end as well.
Yeah, he's good. He's doing the same thing with his friend, too. His friend barely can get in.
That wrapped up the session. I was absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, anyways, guys. Look, that coach is someone you should always fear and respect. But he also wants to help you guys out at the same time. But someone like that, yeah, you kind of don't want to fuck with him. And that's the truth. It's just how I see it. Trust me, I've been hit by one before. I know better. Look, guys. If you ever want to learn martial arts in life, always remember also that you are just a student. You are learning. You are not trying to get ahead of everybody. Just be better. You are supposed to be here to learn, not here to show off. I understand some of y'all just don't get the memo, but you got to get a little bit more quicker than that. Like, see, that's why you should train in multiple martial arts. Luckily, I got lucky with where I'm at to where I can train with multiple martial arts. Somehow they're able to fit that in there. So we got lucky on that. I got lucky. I don't know about y'all, but I got lucky. Anyways, guys and girls, see you in the next one. You know, if there's any martial arts videos out there, I'll probably keep searching. But if you have any for me, based on kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing in general, or any other martial art, feel free to hit me up. Anyways, peace out. See you guys in the next video.
Hi, I'm Lucy Christian. I am the voice of Otako Uraraka, and you should subscribe to Neusxanity's channel. Peace out!